Hey guys, and welcome to a new video.
Today we're going to be checking out a completely new way of editing within Premiere Pro. Typically with my preset packs, you would just drag and drop it onto an adjustment layer and then call it good. However, this pretty much eliminates the adjustment layer and it allows you to just drag and drop the effect on, and it creates the adjustment layer, it creates the audio file, it creates all of the effects for you. So all you do is drag and drop over your clip and then it's done. This technique was brought to my attention by my friend Eugene, who is also known as Replayer on Video Hive. I'll be talking about his product later on in the video, but I'm gonna show you the behind the scenes on how you actually make this yourself. Be sure to stay tuned because I'm going to be making a massive preset pack of all of my previous presets and more using this technique because it is so much faster. Let's jump on into the computer and learn how to do this.
So now that we're on the computer, I wanna explain how this workflow works. We're gonna be working with these 4 clips down here, and the way it works is from the project window instead of the effects tab. So in the project window, we actually have all of our effects that Eugene has created. Now, be sure to check it out down below if you wanna check out his pack. All you have to do to apply the effect is click on the one that you want and drag it down, and you have to center it up with your clip. And right here is the center, and then we can go through and start to select some more and see what they do. You can go in here, and if you double click on the bin, you can click the icon view down here and you can preview what this effect is going to look like before you apply it. The cool thing about this technique is that you can drag on audio effects with it as well. So check this out. As you guys can see, it is fairly quick and pretty awesome to do. So what I'm gonna do is start creating my own personal preset pack using this technique. All we have to do is delete everything because we're gonna start from scratch as long as I have my footage and my original sequence. So what we're gonna do is right click and click on new bin. I'm gonna name this the Ultimate Effects Pack. And I'm also going to name it 1920 by 1080 because that is what I'm going to be working with. In here, I'm going to right click and click new bin again, and I'm going to name this one Exposure because I'm basically going to replicate a lot of my previous effects. So what we want to do is right click on original, which is our sequence, and click duplicate. This will be our effect layer. So we can name this whatever we want. So in this case, I'm going to name it Light Quick High, which explains one of my presets, and I'm going to drag this into the exposure folder, and I'm going to double click on Light Quick High. And since we're just creating a transition, I don't need all of the other shots. I can just work with these 2 clips right here. So what I'm going to do now is simply start creating this transition. All I have to do is click new item down here and click on adjustment layer, make sure it's 1920 by 1080 and click OK. And then all I have to do is drag that adjustment layer down onto my clip. I like to make sure everything's unison, so I'm going to go to the middle by hitting the up key or the down key, depending on which side you're on. Hold the shift and go left 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drag the start to my adjustment layer there. I'm going to go to the center again. Hold shift, go right 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to drag this to the left. Right there. So now I'm going to start adjusting this adjustment layer. All I have to do is go to my effects tab, and I'm going to drag on my exposure, light transition, quick high onto that adjustment layer. So now that looks like this. Now that it is applied to that adjustment layer, here's where the magic happens. Right click on here and rename this to light quick high, and you'll notice that it didn't actually change the adjustment layer up here. This is because this adjustment layer should be separate, but we do not want to delete it because look, if we try to delete it, you'll say the selection contains references. We don't want to delete it because it'll delete this thing as well. So we want to preserve this. So let's right click on our effects pack and create a new bin, and then type do not delete. This is where we'll put important files. So let's drag that adjustment layer to that folder. And now that we have made this effect, let's go to the middle by dragging to the middle or hitting the up and down arrow key till you get to the middle, and click on the adjustment layer and select M. M will create a marker in the center, and this marker will allow us to snap the middle of our adjustment layer to the middle of our clips. Now that we have that on here, our light quick high is done. All we have to do is use it. So if we go back to our original sequence, make sure video 1 is not selected, and then up here we have to make sure this area is white. This button allows you to insert sequences as individual clips. So make sure that is white. So all we have to do is drag light quick high down to our timeline, and you notice that in the middle it starts to snap. That is because our marker is right there. So check it out. Our effect has been made. So this is really cool. That was the quick and easy version, and we can right click on our effect and click on duplicate, and then we can start to make a different one. So I'm going to change this to dark quick high because I know that's another one that I made, and all you have to do to change this effect is double click on it, and we're also going to rename that adjustment layer to dark quick high. And the reason why I rename these adjustment layers is because it allows us to see the effect in our timeline when we apply it, as you can see right here. So we know that this one is the light version, and then we know that this one, when we drag it on, will be the dark version as well. Going back to our dark quick high sequence, we're gonna right click on the dark quick high and click on remove attributes. This will pretty much delete all of the effects that we applied to it, and we can apply any effects that we would like. For this example, I'm gonna click on dark and then drag on dark quick high, because these are presets that I have already created, as you can see right here. But you can pretty much apply any effect from here that you want and customize it to your own preference. So now that that is set, we can simply close on this and go back to our project folder. And now we have 2 separate ones that we can simply click and drag onto our clips. So now we're going to move on to a little bit more of a complex version. So what we're going to do is right click on here and click on new bin and name this spins, because I have some spins presets that I'm going to work with. And all we're going to do is right click on any of our effects and click on duplicate, and then we can drag this up to our spins area and start to work with it. So we're going to click in here twice and rename it to smooth clockwise spin, and then double click on smooth clockwise spin. We're going to also right click down here and click on remove attributes, and that will remove all the effects that we have onto it. We're also going to right click in here and rename this to the original name, which is adjustment layer. Now, when we apply the smooth clockwise spin, you can't do transforms on adjustment layers. It just doesn't carry over. The workaround is to right click and click on nest, and we're going to name this adjustment nest. Now, this adjustment nest, if we double click on it, we'll have an adjustment layer in it. So we're going to drag that adjustment layer to the first video layer and right click over here and click on delete track. That'll delete the video track, and we can click X up here and close that because we don't need to adjust that anymore. So that adjustment nest actually created a nest right here. So we're going to drag this to the do not delete folder that we have created, and now we can rename this. Once we rename it, we're going to rename it to smooth clockwise spin. Watch what happens. Whenever I rename this, it doesn't actually rename this up here because this is working in a sequence up over here. So now all we have to do is right click on smooth clockwise spin and click on adjustment layer. That will create the nested sequence as a adjustment layer. So we can go to our effects tab and then drag in our smooth clockwise spin, and check it out. Our smooth clockwise spin is finally there. So that looks awesome. What we can do now is go back to our preset pack and go to the original sequence over here, or double click here, and now we can test it out. So we're going to drag smooth clockwise spin down to here, and you'll notice that it's not snapping anywhere. That's because we didn't actually make a center point. So remember, go to the center, click M, and then now we have a center point, so we can close that sequence. Now we drag smooth clockwise spin, and you'll see that it snaps to the middle, and we have a smooth clockwise spin right here. This is a really cool way, and you can always update these. So I can go into smooth clockwise spin up here in the project area, and I can go to my Finder window and go to some sounds that I've downloaded from freesounds.com, and let's drag this one down here, increase the size of this to center that up. So that is a quick sound, and I'm also going to right click on the sound and change the gain to -10, and check this out. As soon as I close that, once I want to use this smooth clockwise spin, all I do is drag that onto my project and center it up, and it will also bring in the audio file with it as well. So now that you guys know how to make these presets, I'm going to show you how to re-import them again, because that can kind of get confusing. One thing that you'll notice that if I start to delete this audio file and I click yes, it'll delete the audio file with it. So I would like to keep that in there. So what I'm going to do is go into the Ultimate Effects tab, and under Do Not Delete, I'm going to right click and create a new bin and name this one Important Files. This folder is going to be used for any audio files or important files like video footage that I don't want to lose. So in order to use this effects pack that we just made, all we have to do is delete everything that we don't want, and we only want our effects pack, and then go to File, Save As, and we're going to save this to a certain location. So I'm going to name this as the Ultimate Preset Pack Tutorial 2.0, and then click Save. So now that is saved, next time I'm starting to work on a project and I have clips here, and I want to transition the clips, all I have to do is find where I saved that preset pack to and click and drag that project file into Premiere Pro. As soon as you drag it, this dialog box will pop up. Click Import Entire Project and allow importing duplicated media. Once that is done, the project will show up right here, just like before we created, and we can open it up and start looking at our effects. So I can drag the light quick high down here to add some effects, or I could do the dark quick high as well. And you guessed it, I can also do the smooth clockwise spin with the sound effect. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I will be making an Ultimate Effects pack soon, including all of my presets that I have made before. So that's going to take quite some time. Be sure to stick around, and I'll be releasing that in the near future. As always, if you guys like today's video, click that thumbs up and subscribe, because I'm going to be making some more stuff in the future. I'll see you next time.